find the link, so I didn't really read it carefully. I did see that I'm doing something in February about grit and creativity. So, but as far as like the timeline is what you're saying,
Yeah.
Feedback on the timeline. I haven't really looked at it carefully enough.
Okay. I mean, the idea is just that we have something going on every month and kind of group clustered around seasons. And so, and not to give you guys too much to do, but to put you in more of a mentoring spotlight and letting you, I mean, it sounds like almost all of you have done these webinar things before. And if you haven't, there's enough, like Christine, you've done them. And Kristen, I think you've done them too, right?
I've attended them. I haven't hosted them.
Okay. So there's opportunity to flip it. And I know Steve S has done a ton of them. And I mean, I'm figuring the other Steve A is really good at this too. I mean, I just felt like this would be something that would be in your wheelhouse. So, and then I tried, like, I know Christina, you do such a good job onboarding your kids and working with cardboard. I thought you would be great for launch. And I know you have a lot of stuff. So, and then it's up to you what you want to share, how you want to drive it. If you just kind of want to talk about your experience and then make it all Q&A.
Okay.
Really up to you guys, how you want to do it. The one thing I don't want to do is overburden you. But I do want to give you the opportunity to share your expertise. It shouldn't be me, it should be you guys doing it. And then whatever connections you want to make with folks afterwards is up to you.
What if like, there's something that we think maybe like is more of our expertise? Like we could maybe share privately, like, and run something by you if there's something else that we think would be better for us to share.
And however, you know, I think the themes for the month will kind of stand. I mean, those are things that Mike and I worked on that he kind of wants to see attended to somewhere in the year. But how you hit them, or even if you hit them, it doesn't have to be direct. You know, it can be, because I can supplement. So say you want to talk about your Skyping background. I can always supplement with, there's a space there for like learning events where it's videos, or I'm curating a set of readings, and it's optional, but I could just kind of pad the theme if you want to kind of go in a different direction. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I have some ideas I could share with you later.
Okay. Like I said, I think it would just be great to get you guys out there in a cooler way, and then people know what how, you know that you're approachable and that they can email you. And then I can also, we can figure out a way to handle the mentoring after, so you don't get bombarded, because I think the opportunity for that would be high. I mean, the potential for that would be high. I also want to let you know we'll probably bring on more ambassadors. If we're going to have another 150 chapter leaders, at least five more ambassadors would be a good idea. But you guys are the ones who have sort of had the lead in, so that's why you're on this list. But know that there would be other mentors that we could funnel people out to, if that makes sense. So yeah, go back and take a look at it again and see what you think, and then we'll talk. And it's like I said, it's really your call.
Would we be able to do a bit of a swap in terms of when it happens?
You can talk to each other about that. For example, there's the one right after winter break in January, late January, that that doesn't really belong to any one person. That's a group of you just sitting there chatting about, like, wow, how did the Global Cardboard Challenge go? What are we going to do now? It's more of just kind of a chat. And that one, because I mean, January is such a crazy month for everybody, and everybody's not quite, it takes a while for everybody to get back synced up after winter break. So, but yeah, you can talk amongst yourselves too and figure it out. So
cool.
All right. And the other thing is, I'll send you guys an email, but Mike and I have been talking about some characteristics that we want to really help chapter leaders grow as we do training or onboarding around like creative play and the type of skill set, like really good questioning skills to get kids to be thoughtful. What are those skills that we want to encourage in folks, and how do we want to help them. And I was going to ask you sort of, what do you think a chapter leader's skill set should look like? And we would start with a list of 21st century skills, and I'll throw them at you, and you guys can let me know what you think. Like, what would you like in your colleagues, so to speak? So
why don't we create a Padlet?
A what?
And then we can a Padlet. And then we can all just add to it.
Oh, okay. Is it like a Google Doc that you're talking about?
It's like a online post-it notes that you can just put all over the place.
Okay.
And let's create one.
Oh, I see Kirsten's too. Nice.
Let's see what works.
And that's really my big conversation. So whatever you guys want to throw in, I throw it over to you now.
Well, I like that. Oh, I just got echoed.
Yeah, me too. Someone's got speakers on.
Is that better?
It could be.
I shut my speakers off. Nope.
Let me switch my microphone off.
Huh. Well, I'll speak in short phrases. I'm glad there will be more ambassadors. I love the ones we have. And that's it.
Hey. No echo.
Oh, did everybody else mute themselves?
Echo's gone.
Oh, that was it. Okay, so we all have to be quick draw with the muting. Okay, so when I finish speaking, I'll mute myself. I have to tell you the things that I've absolutely loved about this. The first year, it was the freedom and the excitement of being part of something brand new and innovative, and we were all building the airplane while we were in the air. That was exhilarating to me. I love that the cardboard continues to be an ongoing theme, because every year I show my new students Kane's Arcade. I come back to that as my touchstone. Let's see, what else? And, my new favorite thing is having a connection with Steve's kids and having a connection with Izzy's kids. And I've got my food that I'm going to send you guys to try. My kids put a bunch of fun stuff together. The more we can build in actual connections between the kids across countries, states, time zones, that to me is a super exciting piece of this. So I'm going to mute my microphone and someone else can talk.
I just want to say that we did send our package to Kirsten's group, and I'm hoping that she's still enjoying the rooibos tea. What is interesting is the wonderful video that they made regarding their tastes. And do you still have the link, Kirsten? Maybe you can post the link in the group for them to, I think it was a Vimeo link, where they can see what your students thought of the South African food. And what was absolutely fascinating is that the top foods that I thought would rate incredibly well were not well received. And the foods that I thought were, nah, they're okay, they were highly received. So it just shows you that different countries have different palates, and the things that we hold very dear are obviously not something that that the US kids were beholden to. But I do suspect that there's a package if I've sent to Kirsten, then Kirsten's sending off to who's next? Is it to Izzy? You're going to have to unmute yourself. So she's sending one to Izzy and one to me. Oh boy. Just know that the kids are so excited every week. They ask, is the parcel arriving? Is the parcel arriving? Has it got there yet? What kind of sweets are coming? And I just know that it's going to be so entertaining. And then once Izzy gets it, then Izzy, you sending a parcel to either Steve or to Christina. Okay, and then one of them are going to send it to the other. But now you're both in the US, but I suppose maybe there's local things in your states that the others would. I mean, a cheeseburger, you can make a plan. Okay, so Kirsten, you post the link
to Steve, but a lot of the students at my school come from Latino backgrounds, so it'll probably be a lot of Mexican candy and Mexican influences.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
that should be pretty fun. Hopefully they like spicy.
That is very cool.
Awesome. They'll love it.
I must just tell you that the kids were incredibly excited about the fact that we took all the ratings that you gave and then we had to quantify it. So I took all the ratings that you did and then I took an average score for each one and I asked them to predict the outcome. And then I revealed what the score was. And to say that they were bitterly disappointed with some of the scores, they thought this particular food is representative of the best that South Africa has to offer, and it turned out to be meh. So these things can happen. But I'm curious to see what happens with the Italian connection and the Americans, because the minute you say it's from Italy, they might automatically think, oh, then it must be good. Maybe it's got pasta and Ferrero Rocher. Who knows?
Cool. I'm excited for that. Oh. Sorry.
I think we lost Catherine there, but I'm sure she'll be back.
So are we still talking about the qualities we're looking for in a chapter leader?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. Is that what we're supposed talking about now? Like,
It's fine to talk about the candy stuff. Sorry, I didn't mean to hang up at that moment. I was gonna say one thing though, with what you guys are talking about with the candy trail. Mm-hmm. Do you think that you could do a short write-up of how it went? What you were just describing to me, Steve, how you did the taste testing and how it went, and then we could track it and post it as it went along and put it up on Medium so that people can see what's happening. Is that possible?
Yeah, we never got a chance to taste anything yet. We've sent our parcel, but you mean the other Stephen?
Do I send it to you then, Steve? After I get something from Christina, then we'll send something to you. Does that sound right?
Yeah, so we're going to get a double whammy because of course Kirsten has offered to send one to you and one to me and one to Izzy. But we'll glad look at this. She's putting stuff together, and you know. What she didn't really think about is that a mutual friend of ours is actually in Cape Town at the moment and could have maybe even brought it with her.
Cool. So I'll be excited.
But next,
it'll be fun to send it to you, Steve, as well from India.
Where about are you based? Steve, where about are you based? On the New Jersey side?
No. Indianapolis, Indiana, the Midwest of the United States.
So you're not too close to Chicago? I'm
close to Chicago, about 3 hours away, 3 or 4 hours away.
Because a friend of mine is coming down in June.
Okay.
Is that too long? I don't know.
You probably want me to send it to you before June, right?
Probably. I'm just trying to think of ideas of how to get it to
Save me
Cape
a few
Town.
bucks.
But
I appreciate it. Now we can mail it. It's no problem.
okay, cool.
Hey,
Now, let me see the Padlet.
yeah. So I have an idea that I wanted to run by you guys at some point. Should we shift gears now, or should we keep talking about the candy stuff?
Carry on.
Okay. So Skype in the Classroom now has a new feature called Global Collaborations. And teachers can propose a global collaboration that teachers from all over the world can register for. They can sign up for.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought maybe we could do something like that for the Earth Day Cardboard Challenge. We could post a global collaboration lesson on the Skype in the Classroom website and have it where teachers, whether they're chapter leaders or not, could register and then pair up with another teacher, and the kids could share their kids' creations. Does that sound like something we would want to put on
Great idea.
the Skype website?
Yeah, I love a global cardboard challenge and really seeing what's going on around the world and efforts, you know, for Earth Day and all of us preserve our Earth. I think it'd be really powerful to see what's going on everywhere else.
So I'll be honest. The Earth Day Cardboard Challenge is like, it's a very difficult time. For we have state testing, and last year, I'll be honest, I didn't even do it. I did obviously the Inventors Challenge and the Cardboard Challenge, but is it to do like, is it, last year for the, for the Cardboard Challenge, my kids always make arcades and we invite parents to come and play. For the Earth Day Cardboard Challenge, is it similar arcade games? Like, how do you guys set it up?
I totally understand. I actually had to convince my principal to let me do the Earth Day Cardboard Challenge last year because it was bumped up right against testing time. What we tied it to an end of unit. So we actually had the students go and collect trash from their homes or on the streets that they saw. And then they made art about their community from that recycled trash, and kind of just showing that, what is one person's trash can be another person's art piece. And they made different displays about their community. Boyle Heights is where we're located, and it's right on the cusp of gentrification here in LA. And so the students really wanted to kind of show their neighborhood from their perspective. And so that's what we did for it. And it was more around using recyclable, reusable goods to create art.
Very cool. How about everyone else? How else did you guys kind of set it up last year?
Well, Earth Day, we didn't get a chance to do that, but definitely want to try again for this year, although things are just getting quite hectic, and that's why I wanted to look at some swapsies, because September, October, we're going to be doing some crazy stuff, and I worry that if I have too much on my plate, that we might get those emails from Catherine going, "Are you still out there? Are you still alive?" Those types of emails.
Yeah.
I was checking because I care.
I know. I did create a Padlet for those who want. The link is on in the chat. So all you do is just click on it, and then on the bottom right-hand corner, you click on the plus sign, and then you just add your Padlets. You add your little notes, and we can just populate the whole wall with all the qualities we're looking for. And you can also, I think you can edit the Padlet to rights as well.
Another thing that might be kind of interesting, and I did this, actually my very first cardboard challenge that I ever did was before I think the Global Cardboard Challenge was even a thing. I did it in the spring, and what we did was we had my students make it like for iStep is our big state test. We had the kids create questions, and we invited my friend's class to come down, and if they could answer the test prep questions, then they could shoot or roll or do whatever, play the arcade game. Like, it was, instead of buying a fun pass, they had to answer
that's very
test
cool.
questions. So since it is in the springtime, I don't know, maybe we could, instead of doing another arcade, because like Kirsten said, a lot of us have done arcades already. You don't want to repeat it. Maybe the kids could make like board games out of all the trash, or more interactive games. And then since a lot of kids in our country around that time are getting ready for testing, connect it to testing somehow, and have questions. I mean, I don't know, just throwing ideas out there.
Well, just for those who don't know, the first week of October is also World Space Week. And we've often, for some of the cardboard challenges, chosen space as a theme. So the kids have either had to make vehicles of space travel, or they've had to make, let's say, we once did shadow puppets of aliens and planets. So the kids actually cut out cardboard structures, and then we put the projector light on, and they had to make all the shadow puppets on the walls and come up with little storylines and stuff, which the kids absolutely loved. And you know, so it was completely different to an actual cardboard arcade. And it depends on the size, the number of kids that you have, the ages, because we never know who's going to turn up. And then we just kind of work it according to our audience.
Okay. So even if we did post something on the Skype site, however, you know, whether they made art that was a representation of their city like Christina's doing, or whatever they do, teachers could still share how their kids thought up the cardboard challenge for Earth Day. I think that might be something I could put together.
Cool.
Is that something you posted something on the Facebook page? Was it a link to that?
Oh, I posted something about the Awesome Squiggle project.
That's different. Okay, I couldn't remember right now. Yeah, that looked cool.
But that's an example of a global collaboration project that you can register for on the Skype in the Classroom website.
Seems like Skype in the Classroom is, I mean, they've been doing global collaboration for a long time, but now they're specifically focusing on global collaboration, which I think is a very clever idea.
Yeah, now they're not only they're focusing on it, but they're making things easily accessible for anybody who would want to register specifically through the website.
Awesome, awesome. In fact, I've been invited to an event tomorrow. They're opening up a Microsoft lab at the local science center. So we've got all the Microsoft people there who are going to be talking about, obviously, the Microsoft for Education and Skype in the Classroom, all those sorts of things. So hopefully we'll learn some new tricks that we can share with all of you guys.
Fantastic, Steve.
And Izzy's in and out. Oh, look at it. Our Padlet is already growing. People are making contributions.
Can someone please email the Padlet link? I don't have access to the chat since I'm on my phone.
Oh, I will send it to you right now.
Thank you.
Let's see if it can. I've got to try and find a way to send it to you via the PC. Let's see. Oh, you might have been in a different Hangout chat. Maybe that's why it wasn't. Oh, but you're also on your phone. That's why you can't see it. Okay. I'll find a way to send it without all my stuff falling off the desk.
Steve, I have a question. So I've never used it before. It looks really cool. So access to it, once you've got the link, you can just continue to post on it and access it. And yeah.
We could make it private if you want to. Unless people know that they're looking for it, they're not really going to stumble on it. But we could make it private, or we could make it public and just share it, so that if people want to add their own input in terms of what they think would make a good leader, and we can always curate it and edit it. I think we have editing rights over those things anyway.
I kind of like it as an idea for a workspace. So like Kirsten's already writing the Medium, the Medium post on it. I saw that. So so I like that idea because Google Docs makes me crazy. So it seems like a cool, I don't know. It just seems like a cool area where you guys can post ideas, and it doesn't have to necessarily be through email. It can just be a workspace. What do you guys?
And it's nice. It's visual, which is also nice.
Yeah. Do you guys like that idea, or does it work for you?
Yeah,
Yeah, that works for me. Padlet's actually a great way to get kids to brainstorm through ideas too and share projects and collaborate. We had our students using it pretty regularly.
Okay, let's see. Right, Christina, link has been sent.
Izzy, can
It should
you?
come in your email.
Yeah. I have a question for Izzy. So did you see where I had you doing a community piece for a webinar? Did you see that? No, it's okay. Because I actually also, I don't know if you guys know, but she does these, well, you see it on Facebook where she has everybody, she sets up her kids and everyone comes and sees, and it's a community event, sort of a gallery of her kids' activities. On Facebook, you get to look at that, which I thought would be a great thing for you to share with folks. And I'm gonna put that in the toolkit. So I'm going to email you. I had emailed you before, but I realized I need a little bit more information, so I'm going to email you about that. But I think that's another thing. We're trying to encourage more sharing, more different ways to share. So if you guys have want to include in the brainstorming list, or if that's also an opportunity that I get asked a lot by other chapter leaders, it's like, well, what do I do with all this stuff, or how do I share it? Or I think that's another way people really, I mean, you guys have talked about it yourselves, that one of the coolest things about this is having access to other people who are doing cool stuff. So I think that would be also something else to think about in terms of the webinars, is people really want to have an opportunity to just like go back and forth with people who've already been doing this. And that's part of the goal. But that community piece is really interesting. And so Izzy, I'm gonna be emailing you about that a little bit. I don't know if you wanna say anything, or you've been quiet.
Sorry, I missed the last thing you said, Kathy.
Yeah, I had muted. Sorry, I can't hear Izzy. Can you guys hear Izzy? No.
No sound.
Yeah.
Christina, how did you fix your sound? That might help Izzy.
She went onto her phone.
Yeah, I called in from my phone. It was the only way. My phone microphone is working. I guess my headphones and my laptop, whatever combination, wasn't working before. But my phone works perfectly.
I don't know if that'll help Izzy. That's international rates.
Yeah.
No. She gets into the Wi-Fi.
No, yeah, I have the Google Hangout app on my phone, so you can just access it through that.
I don't know if Izzy could even hear that. Oh,
she could. Yeah. So she's going to join on her phone, and then hopefully that'll make a difference. Just while I've got you all there, I've got 2 very exciting interviews coming up next week that I thought I'd let you know about. Steve, you missed a good one yesterday. Yesterday we interviewed a former neo-Nazi from the white supremacist skinhead group who has now started an NGO to help rehabilitate former neo-Nazis and people who've been members of ISIL and that sort of thing, on how to integrate back into society and just learn to love people again. And it was an absolutely fascinating interview. I just, you know when you go in with a preconceived idea of someone, and he was completely not what I expected. And just one of the nicest, I mean, I'm looking to try and get him out to South Africa so we can get him to go and speak to kids at school, because he talks about bullying. He talks about, young teenagers who are so vulnerable and how easily they can get sucked into a movement that doesn't have to even make sense, but as long as they get attention and they're made to feel special, they will believe anything. So it was a very interesting expose in terms of what's going on with the white power groups and what's happening now in America and in Europe. And then on Monday, I'm interviewing a guy who had an accident when he hit his head, and he was in a coma for 5 days. And when he woke up, he became a piano virtuoso, and he had never played an instrument before. So, I mean, it's just insane. So I really want to chat to him about how that's even possible, that, you know, you can learn to play an instrument that you've never ever played before and just know how to play it instantly. That's just incredible. And then that's on Monday night. It's at normal time, 6 p.m. Cape Town time, which is about 4.5 hours earlier than this. And then on Tuesday, I'm interviewing Clementine. She's the lead actress in the National Geographic Mars series. So if you've been watching that, which has really been good, she's the doctor in the series. And we're going to be talking a little bit about Mars and people traveling to other planets and what they've learned about Mars through the filming. And obviously, because it's a Ron Howard production, she's had a chance to work with Ron Howard and to learn a lot about those sorts of things, which, you know, in the acting field and how they create sets and, you know, that sort of thing, which I think would be quite interesting from a imagination chapter point of view. There could be some nice content there from a creativity point of view. So obviously I'll post the Hangout links on Monday and Tuesday, and all of you are always welcome to join in, either with kids or without kids. But I do have 2 or 3 fascinating ones coming up. I've got the 2 guys who've been traveling around the world carrying all the rubbish that they produce, that they're wearing, all the rubbish that they produce, to show you how much rubbish we actually create on a daily basis. And I'm also going to be interviewing, that one I haven't got a date yet. And then I'm also going to be interviewing a trans teen. So she is now about 14. Or is it he? Hold on. The trans, I think he went from he went from a young girl to a boy. So he was always a boy, but he was given he was assigned a female's gender, and now he has, with the full support of his family, he has manifested himself into the boy that he always wanted to be. And I think that's going to be interesting to hear from a teenager's point of view, because there's so many other aspects of their life that, you know, it's just so complicated being a teenager, whether you're male or female. So to have a little bit of both, or not sure of where you are in life, it's just going to be a very interesting interview. So lots of very cool ones, and a couple of astronauts and a few more of those sort of things coming up in the next 3 or 4 weeks. So I will post those links, obviously, in the Imagination Chapter page.
You're the best, Steve. That's incredible stuff.
Well, I do it because I want to share it with all of you. You're the best. So, you know, if I've got the best people to share it with, then it's cool. If I'm just doing it for myself, then that's not really so enjoyable.
Sorry, I missed that neo-Nazi one. That would have been...
Well, you can watch it. It's all of them are on livingmaths.com. We always keep the videos, and then if it's not on the main page, then we put it into the interviews link on our menu.
Perfect.
And actually, that reminds me too that I also, in terms of cool people, in picking 5 more ambassadors, if you have recommendations for folks, were all of you part of the original pilot group?
Yeah.
The original.
I was, yeah.
Yeah, so you have worked with some of the other folks before. Yeah, Steve, I know who you're talking about. I just saw your message, Auslander. If you have recommendations for folks that you've worked with already, like I probably know them because they've probably communicated with me, but you all have working relationships with people, so that would help me because I want them to like come right in and work with you guys, if that makes any sense. So yeah, let me know what you think, who you would recommend, who you think would enjoy it too. I mean, you all have been helping me kind of figure it out. I hope that next year you'll be doing webinars and a little more mentoring and have more opportunities. But so you kind of have a sense of what it is. So yeah, send recommendations my way, and we'll see what we can do. And as I get down to narrowing the list, I will ask your advice yet once again. That works.
Yeah. The good news is I will be interviewing a person by the name of Nirvan. You might have heard of him. And I'm hoping that that's going to be one that will be well attended by all the Imagination chapters, because not only is he a very creative guy, but if you know about his documentaries and the movies that he's involved with, and all the public service announcements and his just his approach to life, he's just a fascinating guy.
Yeah, let's make sure that's in the Telegram.
We will, absolutely. But I've got to find out when he's available. He's a busy guy.
Actually, Steve, that's true. If you want me to start including some of your, sorry, I'm blinking out. Some of your interviews, especially ones that are more, like say astronauts, things that are really kind of fit in with the imagination stuff. Or if you have a particularly eventful one and you want to write about it, same goes for any of you guys. Anytime you want to contribute to Telegram, just let me know. I mean, you've given me ideas on how to make it more interesting. Like I've been doing occasional lightning rounds, and that was your suggestion. You know, you guys are totally welcome to step in and write stuff or send me something, you know, figure this out, send it in, pictures, anything. Okay? That'd be awesome.
Why don't we get some of our chapters to take over the Imagination Foundation Twitter account for an hour or so, and get them to tweet things of what they're doing and report on their Imagination chapter session that day.
Mm-hmm.
That could be quite cool.
One of their meetings, maybe. You know, a meeting.
Yeah, at a regular meeting. So then they'll just tweet what they've been doing that session, and maybe even get other chapters to tweet and write about that, and just generate some more traffic on the Imagination Foundation Twitter account.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah, along those lines, a couple of years ago, Alice did takeovers of the Instagram account, and so she would just give us the password, and I got to take it over for our Boyle Heights History Hike day and post all the students' work from that day, which was really great, and like follow through the hike. So I'm not sure if that's a possibility too. I think being able to share all the visuals from all the things we do would be great too for people to see on Instagram.
That's definitely a possibility. I love that idea. That's great. So if you have something coming up, because again, I'd like to use your experience. So if we can get a couple of you guys to do it like in the same way Christina's talking about, then that gives everyone else an idea of what it looks like. And we say, hey, who else wants to do this? And they can let me know, and I can turn it over to them. So if a couple of you have an event coming up, or you just want to do the same thing like you were saying during a meeting, one of your chapter meetings, let me know. And I will definitely send you over the password and let you have at it for an hour or whatever it is during your meeting time. And that's a great idea. And then we can put that in Telegram. Does anybody else want to do this? Did you check it out? Did you see it? We can advertise it in front of it, and then at the end say, hey, who wants to be next? That'd be really cool. Awesome.
Or alternatively, we could just control our regular Twitter account and just hashtag Imagination Foundation with everything that we do, and that way we can get a little bit more coverage than just the Imagination Foundation. And you can just retweet everything.
Yeah, we also, I think I told you we had an intern, Serena.
Mm-hmm.
She is no longer with us. So if we're slow on the uptake with the social media, that's probably
That was funny. Your expression.
Yeah. I mean, the chapter leader group, I'm on that all the time, but the other pieces, not as much. So we have to figure that piece out. Anyway.
So I just posted the link. I just checked while we were on this, and registration for the Awesome Squiggle project, it ends tomorrow. I didn't realize it was so soon. But this is something that would be amazing for, I think, any and all Imagination chapter leaders to do with their kids. Basically, it's a template. everyone around the world gets the same template of like 4 squiggles. And then you have your kids create something out of those squiggles. So maybe it's just art, maybe it's something to demonstrate something that they've learned. And then you Skype with another, you register, and then within the registration, you get matched with another class somewhere in the world. And then the 2 classes then share their kids' art that they made out of the squiggles. So last year we did it. I had my kids do it based on their exhibition projects, which is a big IB project showing they researched an issue and came up with a solution to that issue. And so their squiggles represented their projects. And then they use Chatterpix to make their little images talk, which is kind of fun. And then you tweet them out, you scan them and put them on Twitter and then you can see kids all over the world and how they turn their squiggles into something that was meaningful to them, which is kind of cool.
It's very cool.
Yeah. So I definitely encourage you guys to register for it. It closes tomorrow. So I posted something on the Facebook page a while ago, but then I didn't follow up since then.
It's hard if you don't know what it is.
I know.
It helps a lot to get the context from you.
Sure.
I see my kids once a week, and they're immersed in an invention right now. So I have to be mindful of how I use the time with them, you know? Ding! What's dinging?
Sorry.
What is it?
Multitasking. Of course, my son is sick, and of course, my wife is out of town.
No.
Oh, that's when it always happens.
Murphy's Law, right? Yeah. So
Uh-huh.
we're trying to arrange a sitter for tomorrow. Sorry. Multitasking.
Well, I also think, just to give you a break, we're kind of at the end of this. We've gone over an hour, and given our late start, that's fine, but I don't want to take up too much more of your guys' time. So, but I think, so if you have ideas for chapter leader qualities, and I'm going to also send you guys some 21st century lists. You know, there's tons of them, right? And we just kind of want to pick the ones that we think best represent the organization and the goals of it and what we want to grow in chapter leaders. If you have, Kristen, if you have recommendations for other chapter leaders or for more ambassadors, and I'm thinking just another 5, so there'll be 10 of you, let me know. And other than that, we have tons of ideas. Oh, writing for Medium. So as the candy box goes around, let us know how that goes. It would be nice for everybody to hear. Anything else before Kristen becomes a complete pirate? She's going to get all of us. Did I miss anything? Oh, Izzy sent, well, I'll email you directly about your stuff.
Maybe you guys can tweet out the candy photos and videos and stuff, because I definitely want to see that.
Yeah, more sharing of cool stuff is always good. Nice mustache. Yellow.
Oh, it came out yellow?
You can choose different colors.
The top of Steve, like right here on Steve, it's yellow. Anyway, I don't know. Thank you for everything. You guys are awesome. I don't know if you have any last notes. Steve, I hope your son gets better soon.
Thank you. Yeah, he'll be fine. It's just a fever. You know.
Good luck with the babysitter.
Thank you. Thank
Sending
you.
healthy vibes.
Yes. Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.